Welcome to my channel Living Linux. In this video I want to show you EndlessSky on RISC-V. So in my previous video I was able to get it built on ARM, so I thought it would be very similar for RISC-V. But unfortunately there was a little twist, so that's one of the reasons why I decided to make a video about this. So I went through all the instructions similar to what I did for ARM. So you have to make changes to the CMakePresets.json file. So I have the Banana Pi F3 with the SpacemiT processor. So the architecture string is like this. So if you have a different RISC-V system, then yeah, it might be that you don't have the vector instructions, so this extension, so perhaps you need to skip that and perhaps also skip the V, so that you get like RV64GC, something like that. Or if you know the full string, then just use that. So I changed that value a couple of times in the JSON file, and there is also this target triplet. So I changed the first part to RV64. So I followed all the instructions and it did build. Release. But unfortunately it errors. As you can see here, it says unable to create OpenGL context and that you need OpenGL 3.0 or higher. Now that is a bit weird, because if we check that, it does say version 3.3. So I was a bit surprised by that. But yeah, if there is some configuration issue, who knows, I don't know how to fix that. But luckily, with EndlessSky, if you go to the build instructions, so they explain how to get the code. So you might have to install Git first if it's not there, and then you can get the code. So in my case it's Linux, so you need to install all these packages, and even if you don't build the unit tests, it might just be easier to install catch2 also, because I got an error about that. So sudo apt install, oh, not like that, like this. So catch2, so install all these packages, and then you need to go into the directory. So instead of Linux, you can also go for linux-gles. So if we go into the directory, so you can do CMakePreset and then linux-gles. So like this. And then you can try to build it. Linux, whoops, no, not like that. GLES. So like this. And depending on the amount of memory you have and the amount of CPU cores you have available, you can try to build it on multiple cores. But if you have limited memory, then it's better to keep that value low, or even perhaps skip it. So once you have that built, the GLES version, so you can go here and then release EndlessSky, and then it starts. So here it reports very low GPU usage. So let's just say if we depart, that's when the action really happens. Oops, someone is attacking things. So, but it's good to see that if you want to, you can run it on RISC-V. So unfortunately, we are still waiting for a proper GPU driver, but it's good to see that at least the games or the programs that support GLES, that we can try to run it through that. And yeah, we're still waiting on Imagination Technologies to give us more information on when we can expect a proper working GPU driver. So what I really like to show is that, yeah, if you have the source code and things are not too complex, because sometimes they write the code that it's really dependent on something that only runs on, for instance, Intel AMD, and then, well, you're out of luck. Perhaps in the future there are ways around that, and I also have plans for a very simple video about Box64 to run x86 64-bit code on RISC-V. But yeah, if you really are interested in that, then it's probably better to have a look at PetitSep, who I think is one of the developers for Box64. So, this is all for now, and I hope to see you again in my next video.